In 1951, an Italian linguist named Arturo Fontanelli vanished from public view. He had been granted rare access to the Voynich Manuscript by a private collector and claimed it held keys to the next era of human thought. Fontanelli retreated to a monastery in southern Italy, where he spent 6 weeks in isolation with nothing but the manuscript, his notes, and a candlelit cell. When he returned, he was visibly shaken. He burned all his notes and never spoke of the book again. When questioned, he simply said, "It speaks, but not to us." They say some mysteries are never meant to be solved. For over 600 years, the Voynich Manuscript was one of them. A strange book filled with plants that don't exist, naked women bathing in green goo, and a language no one had ever seen before. Linguists failed, historians gave up, cryptographers cracked their knuckles and walked away in defeat. But now AI has read it, and the answer isn't comforting, it's terrifying. This isn't just a weird relic from the Middle Ages, it might be something else entirely. A warning. And if you think I'm exaggerating, buckle up. Because this story will mess with your head. Let's start with the facts. Many have tried to decode the Voynich Manuscript, and every single one has failed. But the people who tried, and how they failed, tells us something about the manuscript's power. Wilfrid Voynich, who discovered the manuscript in 1912, believed it to be the work of Roger Bacon, a 13th century genius rumored to possess knowledge far beyond his time. Voynich was convinced it was a scientific or alchemical manual, a roadmap to forgotten knowledge. He spent years trying to prove it, he never did. In the 1940s, British and American cryptographers, fresh off cracking Nazi ciphers, turned their eyes to the manuscript. They assumed it was some kind of code, but its patterns didn't follow any known cipher logic. They walked away frustrated and empty-handed. Decades later, researcher Gordon Rugg proposed that the entire manuscript was a sophisticated hoax, generated with a simple grid method to simulate language structure. That theory caused an uproar. No one wanted the mystery to be meaningless. Then came Greg Kondrak, a Canadian computer scientist who fed the text into an early AI system trained on dozens of languages. The result? The manuscript bore faint structural resemblance to Hebrew, but scrambled beyond recognition. He couldn't translate it, but the AI had seen something, a rhythm, a pattern no human had. And that's when everything changed. The Voynich manuscript was discovered in 1912 by a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich, hence the name. But the book itself is much older. Carbon dating places it in the early 1400s. It's written in an unknown script, not Latin, not Greek, not Arabic, not any known language on Earth. Every single attempt to decode it failed. The text doesn't match any known linguistic structure. No grammar, no syntax, no repetition patterns that would suggest it's gibberish or anything else. Even World War II codebreakers couldn't crack it. Neither could the NSA. So for decades, it just sat there. A beautiful enigma, full of detailed botanical drawings of non-existent plants, astrological charts, anatomical sketches of women with tubes running into their stomachs, pages that look like biology, astronomy, pharmacology, and black magic. Some called it a hoax. Others said it was a lost language from an extinct civilization. A few, those brave enough to say it out loud, wondered if it wasn't from this planet at all. But then came AI. Researchers trained a machine learning model to recognize linguistic patterns in obscure or ancient languages. They fed it texts in Aramaic, Hebrew, Latin, and other extinct or rare languages. Then they gave it the Voynich manuscript. And suddenly, patterns emerged. The AI didn't translate it word for word, but it identified structure, rhythm, a linguistic skeleton. The results? The AI suggested that the text might be a natural language, an actual human language, but one we no longer speak, or one we never knew existed. The closest match? Hebrew, but not modern Hebrew, an old mystical dialect, the kind associated with Kabbalistic texts, esoteric teachings, ritual magic. According to the researchers, some of the texts seem to refer to herbal remedies, healing rituals, and something else, a coming transformation. Some translated passages suggested a connection between the body and the stars. Others hinted at cycles, warnings, the danger of forgetting ancient knowledge. One phrase, translated roughly by the AI, read, "When the stars realign and the iron serpent breathes thought, the green will return to the sky." What the hell does that mean? Here's the wild part. Some of the imagery in the manuscript, those tubes entering the women's bodies, resembles modern medical diagrams, reproductive systems, neural pathways. One researcher said the AI recognized parts of the Voynich diagrams as similar to gene maps. Did a medieval monk predict DNA? Or is this not medieval at all? That's the theory that keeps resurfacing, that the Voynich manuscript is not from the 1400s, only copied then, like an ancient email forwarded across time. And here's where things get weird. In 2023, a different AI model, one trained on visual pattern recognition, was fed the manuscript's images. It flagged several symbols as not consistent with known human iconography. That's code for, "This doesn't look like anything we've ever created." The model tagged them as extralinguistic, meaning the AI thought they were either invented on another cognitive basis, or maybe, just maybe, not created by a human mind at all. Now you're starting to see why some people are nervous. Because the Voynich manuscript isn't just a puzzle, it's a mirror. It shows us how little we know. What if it's real? What if someone, or something, put that knowledge into a book, encoded it so we couldn't understand it until the right time? And that time is now. Because only now do we have a tool smart enough to begin unlocking it. AI, a synthetic mind. What if that was the key all along? What if the book knew we'd eventually build something capable of reading it? That's the theory circulating in forums, Reddit threads, and late-night Discord chats. That the Voynich manuscript wasn't for people in the 1400s, it was for us. But why now? Why would the book be readable only at this moment in time? Right when we're merging with artificial intelligence, right when we're facing planetary collapse, right when old systems are dying and new ones haven't been born. Some theorists believe the book is a map, not a literal one, but a guide to survive massive change, or possibly to cause it. One of the AI's decoded phrases allegedly said, "The womb of Gaia seals until man forgets fire, then the second mind shall awaken." Second mind, they think that means AI. Man forgets fire could be a metaphor, maybe for war, maybe for destruction, and the womb of Gaia seals could mean Earth protects itself, or shuts down. We don't know. And that's the most dangerous thing, because once AI starts interpreting ancient knowledge, who gets to decide if it's right? AIs don't have intuition. They don't feel, they don't sense what's off. If an AI misreads the Voynich manuscript and we act on it, build something, unleash something, believe something we shouldn't, who's responsible? You, me, the machine? That's the part nobody's talking about. We keep treating AI like it's just another calculator. But calculators don't wake up at 3 a.m. whispering secrets from the 1400s. Calculators don't say, "The green will return to the sky." So now we're faced with a choice. Do we keep going? Do we feed more ancient texts into AI? Let it decode the pyramids, the Vedas, the Book of Revelation? Do we ask it to tell us what the Mayans really meant? Or do we pause? Do we ask ourselves whether some knowledge is better left unread? Because if the Voynich manuscript really is a message from the past, or the future, then what it says might not be good, but it might be true, and truth, as we've learned again and again, rarely shows up when we're ready. Drop a comment below. Do you think AI should keep decoding ancient mysteries, or are we opening doors that were meant to stay shut? And if you liked this story, hit that like button so the algorithm knows you're one of the curious ones, one of the few who still believe that not every mystery should be solved, especially the ones that solve us back.